morning and welcome to the Do It With Us session for the 16th of April. I feel like a radio announcer when I do that.
You do. Sound like it.
Oh. It's all my years of elocution, I can't actually
What
get
do you
into
mean your
my
years of elocution? What does that mean? Tell me more.
I'm a qualified speech and drama therapist.
Oh, I did not know.
Mm.
There you go. There's an
Yeah,
element.
I had a bit of a lisp when I was younger, like 9 or 10. Stutter, not a lisp. And so the music examination board has a series of speech and drama, and I just did it for learning elocution, and yeah, I loved it. Became an actress, used to do all the Eisteddfods, cleaned up with all the trophies, and and yeah, then I did my associate diploma at 17. I finished.
Houses. Oh, what do you know?
Yeah. So from 9 to 17, that's what I studied. Theatre and
Are your kids into theatre and drama and all that stuff?
oh, they're very dramatic, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay. Aren't all children?
After Miami just yells out, I can hear you. Don't miss it.
Goodness.
They're both well, I used to do musical theatre too, so they both love singing, they love music. We sing to all the musicals in the car. So
No.
yeah, it's a bit
Can't
of a
sing a
new.
bar. I can, but you don't want to hear it.
Say that again.
I said I can't sing a bar. I can, but you don't want to hear it.
Oh, I think it's fantastic, even if you can't sing. Like, there's nothing better than belting a tune.
Oh,
And even
yes.
if it's out of tune, I'm like, I'm all for it. Like, I don't care. It's
You
like,
know what you should go on? You know what you should go on? There's a good friend of mine has a foundation called the Carers Foundation in Brisbane, and they do an event every year. It's a fundraiser, and it's CEOs singing.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing. And so a very good friend of mine is the CEO of the Universal Store, and she sang Stairway to Heaven. It was amazing.
that was the first concert I went to.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean right, that band, not
Yeah.
the charity event.
Led Zeppelin. No, not the charity event.
That's where my head went immediately.
I was 16. And I can't believe my mum ever let me go. But yeah, I went with a guy, I think his name was Roger. He was a
Clearly,
family friend,
clearly
and he was only
memorable.
a few years older than me. I seriously, I look back and I think, I can't believe my mum let me go to that concert when I was
That's pretty
16.
epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just Facebooked me the other day.
Oh.
And I was like, I remember going to this concert. I don't know how my mum let me go with you. Like, I think he probably was like 4 years older than me.
Yeah, wow.
I'm
So
like,
that
yeah.
and the fact that you went to that concert. But
Yeah.
I was telling somebody where I don't know if you remember this. On the Gold Coast was a place called the Playroom. If you've ever heard of that. So it's a Palm Beach, Tallabudget Creek across the road. My girlfriend's mother owned it. And when you lived on the coast when I was a teenager, you didn't go to surface because it was like an hour's trip on the bus. And I could literally touch the Jimmy Barnes, In Excess, My Sex, all those amazing, bloody awesome Australian bands and all the Aussies. But and I actually went there from the age of 16. It was the sticky carpet, and you put your drink just there, and you were dancing there, and your chest was thumping because you were right next to the speaker, and
Yeah, that's so good.
all that.
You go home and your ears are ringing all night.
The Playroom had all the bands, and they were literally a meter from you when you were dancing. It was bloody awesome, and it just doesn't exist anymore. They knocked it down and put a bloody I don't know, camp or something in there.
Yeah, no, I think there was one similar place here in Brisbane, and it's been knocked down. It was up on the top of the hill near Bowen Hills.
Cloudland.
Yeah, Cloudland. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Everyone talks about it like this
I remember it. Yeah.
thing
Cloudland.
that, existed.
Yes, I feel I'm much older than you
go.
girls, so I'm showing my age.
Oh, I just love a good story of that. You're
Old
like
times.
telling somebody the other day about
Believe they let me go.
without Facebook or without internet.
Yeah.
They looked at me like
What?
did that actually exist? How did you do it? What did you do?
And you weren't allowed on the phone. Like I'd go to pick up the phone to ring someone, and my father would, no, you can't use the phone because we lived in a motel, so the motel was the business line, right? Yeah, Palm Beach.
Or someone would be expecting a call. I'm
Did you say
expecting a
Palm
call.
Beach, Joanne?
I grew up in Palm Beach, yes.
Wow.
I went to school, the first school I went to was at Coolangatta, and you know the road that goes around the hill, and up the top is that big eagle thing. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. There's a
Yeah,
school
yeah,
up there. It's now a
yeah.
special school, but the Coolangatta State School was up there. Amazing place to go to school.
Well,
And
that
then
would have had epic views.
amazing views, amazing views. And then I went to it's at Palm Beach Currumbin High School, one of the first classes there when it first opened. So it was a small school. I did surfing for a sport. It's great.
That's such a good childhood. I love it.
Was, and you just went everywhere on your push bike or hopped on the bus.
I think there's
See you,
something
Mum,
to
I'll
be
be out.
said
I'll be back.
about being raised in a business. Like that's definitely my parents were business owners, and
My dad was terrible at it. I will
well,
say.
me too. My dad was really good at it. He made some bad decisions in the end and they lost everything. So I kind of went through this. They were
Yeah,
running this multi-million-dollar massive
he wasn't great.
factory.
Yeah,
We expanded, we moved, it was all around he had all these workers. I'd go there after school and they
yeah.
loved me. They'd help me. And so I was on the factory floor
Oh, yeah.
when when the people didn't come around and
And yeah, the work health
like
and safety.
tried to take me out, and I took him on. Dad said, "You went up to him and you went, you can't kick me out of here. This is my dad's factory." I was like,
Well
oh,
said.
probably 10 years old.
That's so
He's
good.
like, yeah, I can.
Out.
But I think that's like the fundamentals are definitely set when you
I
watch.
certainly learned customer service because he owned a small motel and it's literally still there, which I can't believe. It made there was an article in a magazine on the Gold Coast, I don't know, early this year, late last year, about the top 6 iconic motels on the Gold Coast, and this was in it. And it's surrounded by high rise. It has 6 units. I do not know how he made any money at $20 a night to put myself and my brother through school
Wow.
and stuff. And had 6 rooms, and it still has it. So a friend, this is a really weird thing. A friend of it, when Dad sold it, somebody bought it. Then it turned into a brothel, I heard, and then somebody bought it, and they completely did it up to Art Deco style. It looks amazing, and it turns out to be a friend of mine who bought it. And I went, "Oh my God, you own where I grew up." That was
It's so nostalgic. I even got onto Google Earth the other day and went to the 2 houses that I grew up in and had a look through photos and was showing my kids, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember it to be like that. Like I just have a different.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. I should do
All
that.
right, let's get stuck
Sorry,
into
we
it before we
digress.
gas bag the day away.
Sorry
I
about
know
that.
I've got a call with you straight after this, Karen, so I don't know if you've got anything to bring to the table, but either of you. How can I be of assistance to you today?
Not really. I just need to get my bump. There's so many things on my to-do list. It's not funny. My
Well, you
membership.
have been in action stations though. Like I loved you live.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy for me.
You are so effortless, like on that. You just seem so natural. Like I
I've
look
been
at it and I
doing
think,
a long, long time.
yeah, like you make it look easy is all I can say. Is
Well,
I know it's years of practice, but you just say what you need to say eloquently and then you're off.
well, okay. So I use ChatGPT. I put it in a teleprompter, so I'm actually reading it. So I took 2
you wouldn't
takes to
know.
make
You
that.
wouldn't
So the
know.
teleprompter is it's a free one. I don't pay for it. And so I just use ChatGPT, and I've created a tone of voice document for myself. That is quirky lady in orange. I've sort of switched it up a bit. So because I've found when I get really quirky on my connection requests on LinkedIn, saying from the lady in orange, I actually get people to say, yes, I'll connect with you. It's bizarre. They love the different.
So did you do this on
I don't think
LinkedIn?
it
Is this
because
what?
everyone's so black and white.
Yeah. So if I go on, yeah, so different. So I used that to I use that tone of voice document now to write anything because it captures people's attention. So one of the ones that's worked incredibly well is if it's a request to LinkedIn. Hi there. I don't send bland let's connect requests. I send notes like this because people like you deserve more than templates. I'm building bold things. It seems you are too. And yes, I'm the gallon orange. Shall we, Joanne?
Oh, that's so good.
And I just get, yes, let's connect. And would you like to chat? Yes, let's do that. I went, sweet.
And so is your aim to have a certain amount of conversations in a week or?
Yeah, so my goal is 15 new LinkedIn requests every day. Some days I don't do them at all, so then I do 25 or 30 the next day. So I've got a list that I'm searching for coaches in the US. So there's 100,000 of them. Pretty simple. So
You've got a big job ahead of you.
yes. So I only look at women and I look at their profile. Have they actually posted lately? Because I haven't done anything for the last month. I'm not interested because they're clearly not hanging out on LinkedIn and doing shit. They're just
And that's the thing. Like I get connection requests all the time, but I don't go in there. So I don't do it, you know. So I think that's the
so I look for that.
critical.
And what's your purpose? What's the purpose behind that, Joanne? Because I get a lot of LinkedIn
Just
requests as well.
to get
Yeah,
people
okay.
engaged in my Her Transformation program.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the goal. So I'm working with a LinkedIn coach that I've signed up for a year, and this is just part of the journey that she said that you consistently do it every day, choose a number. So that's what I'm doing.
And so the aim is to increase your list.
Well, yeah, increase the list, but to then, because it starts a conversation, that quirky thing, like, and then I always, when they do accept, I then on your phone, you can send a voice message or a video message. So I don't reply with a text. I then do either voice or a video and go, hey, really appreciate the connection. Looking forward to learning more about you. If you're up for it, I'm always open to having a virtual coffee with you. What do you think?
What's the next step after the virtual coffee or after the?
Well, for me, it's
What's
about
the customer journey? I'm going to put it.
who are you? What do you do?
Yeah.
And I want to get to at some point that the conversation lands on. So how's the business going? What are the pain points you've got? And I'm listening for things that they'll say to go, actually, my program might fill that void for you. Would you like me to share what that looks like?
And do you have low ticket to high ticket?
Well, that's I've got lots of small programs here, absolutely. But that's why I want to create the membership on Go High Level, the $100 a month. So I've decided to make it $100 US a month. We'll see how that lands. But I've been speaking to a lot of people and going, I'm thinking about this, a membership where you get this sort of thing that you do, Rochelle, but it's about business strategy and whatever's all the things that I know. Fortnightly, bucket load of tools, some short courses will be in there. And my goal is to get your business ready and you ready to go into the Her Transformation program. So I'm completely transparent, but I also get that there are businesses that are not ready or they're not financially ready to do that. So let's do this thing. So that's my plan of that.
It's like, to me, that is a really smart transition, because what I know to be true is that nurture that happens in a group, in a low ticket or free group, and it doesn't have to be paid. Like, it can be. I think when people pay, they're more engaged. They want to show up. They want to do something. And whether that engagement is that, you know, they're in a course or in a program or something that they actually want to complete, they want to keep coming to and have an end goal with the journey, is just you have this opportunity to build a relationship. And I think
get to know who I am.
Those relationships are what, you know, what people trust you for. And then when they need that next thing, they need to do whatever it is, you're top of mind, you know, or you're just a consideration. And if there's 5 people that reach out and you have that relationship, or you have had a call with them, or you have done something, that's what I'm surprising myself about, how many people on Facebook actually I've connected with over the years, might have done something, might have not, might have just had a call, might have, that are coming out of the woodwork now that I've been a bit more vocal. And they're like, oh yeah, I worked with you, like, or I called you and spoke about something about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, like,
Really?
and
Wow.
but that
Mm,
that connection has remained.
Yeah. And you're
And
consistent on Facebook, like you are there every day in
yes,
some form, right?
yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
how you
I
get
mean,
that.
honestly, it is my VA that is
Yeah. And
between you, me, and a tree.
well,
But
of course it is.
this
Yeah.
last probably 3 weeks, I've been more. I did a live yesterday, and I don't know.
That was
Mhm.
great.
Saw
Yes,
that.
watch that. It was great.
Oh my God. Like I was so nervous leading up to going live,
Oh, really?
and to have Laura, who was
Laura.
with me, like I hardly know her. I'm like, I'm
It's
going
a
live.
really natural
Completely
conversation,
strange.
though.
It was so natural, and it was just so
And that's what people
energetically
like,
aligned.
right? That's what they like.
I
They
think
do.
that is what I realized. But I have to say, the post that I did 3 days before actually got more traction than the live. So
Yeah. But it's got tenure. It'll hang in there, right? And people
yeah,
will
so the piece
see it.
that I'm doing now, which I think if you are comfortable to go live and you can do those sorts of things, I've got my VA to download that live
Yeah.
and snip it
Slice
up,
and dice it. Yeah.
and I'm going to have a go at TikTok just
I
because.
was going to ask you
Ah,
because I've got TikTok and I was looking and I thought, are you using it now? Do you have a profile? Because I was going to ask you, what is it? Because I want to see what you're doing.
I've done one video
Oh,
with
have
my
you?
daughter because I was like, I don't know how to do this. I just needed to press the buttons and do it.
So that one that I did this morning, threw that on my TikTok as well. I just threw that up.
So my TikTok is online wise.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't created a separate TikTok for different things, but I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to do business. I'm just going to talk business.
Yeah.
But in Live Good, just so you know, Joe, there is a whole TikTok course, and I'm
Yes.
going through that.
Yeah. I heard that. Look, I've
Cheapest.
done it.
I'm
I've
like,
done a few
I'm so out of
courses.
my comfort zone on TikTok. I'm like, this is not my area.
No, it's
But it's funny because I think what I have learned about doing something, getting involved in something that I haven't been the new person for a long time.
yeah.
And I kind of went in with all this ego and this like, I don't want to use their group. I don't want to, I can do this better than everybody. But I'm
No,
actually,
use the group. Absolutely use the group like
I
the
am
machine.
checking
So
my ego at the door, and I am like,
absolutely.
well, it's running, it's converting. 75% conversion in a group. I'm like, I think I might have something to learn from
Yes.
being
What
a
she's
part of this
doing.
community
Yeah.
rather than me going in thinking I'm
You can nail it. Yeah.
yeah. And it's hard because I think when you step into leadership and you're the leader for everybody,
To let go. Yeah.
to let go and go, oh, I actually don't know
Actually,
everything.
I'm just going to delegate because you've got it all done. So why do you
Well,
really
I
need?
look, I
I looked at
kicked
that and
and
I went,
screamed,
I do not need
Joanne.
to.
I kicked and screamed. I was not going to use her. I was not. And so, like I still have in my mind that I will bring people into my own community because I know the value of a list.
Yeah.
Like having people on on your email list and
Yeah.
whatnot is super important. But I think
Leverage it for now while it works. Yeah.
how I get
Sure.
there is
Yeah.
not.
Well, I'm hopefully sending 3 people in there today.
Oh, good girl. I think what I didn't realize is something of value, of low ticket, of interest has actually, like, I've got people not just in Live Good but joining our lotter because of that exposure. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize I probably wasn't I wasn't beating the drum of my own
Business. Yeah.
thing until I had a moment, and I'll share this because I think, oh, look, it was a horrible moment of how quickly you just go back to comparisonitis.
Mm.
but I saw another person that had a high level agency.
Yeah.
Two girls that was triggering for me. That were branded beautifully, like all the bells and whistles and the most gorgeous website. And I just went wow into I literally was crying with
Oh, that's
my
hard.
husband, just going,
That's
this
hard.
is devastating. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not good enough. This is like what I have. Everyone's doing it now. Like, and I just had this moment. It took my 10-year-old, Miami, came up to me. She's like, do you know how many people look at your websites and think they're better than,
Yeah.
anything they've got? And I was just like, wow, thank you.
Yes. Exactly.
Thank you,
You've got
people.
a fantastic brand. I love your brand.
Oh, I know.
Bloody
But
awesome.
I think it's
Yeah. We're
just,
our worst critic. We are our own worst critic.
I
All
just feel
the
like
time.
sometimes you never do enough. Like it's
No,
that
it's never right. It's never
insatiable
perfect.
wanting something more. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to share that because I feel like
It's
when people
normal.
get to a certain level, it's almost like they stop sharing that because there's vulnerability in sharing that you're going to think
Yeah,
less of
share
me
it.
or
Share the
whatever.
shit out of it. Yeah.
But I think it's so human. And since that happened, the amount of people that have had that same moment with me and just gone, oh yeah, like I just feel like it's
Think
all
it all
too
the
much.
time.
I can't do it all. I can't be that person that I know I really want to be or whatever it is. And so it brings me compassion. It brings me an ability to actually really feel that because I think it's been a very long time since I've had a moment like that.
Mm, mm.
Which is a nice place to come from, but it was humility, I think, just going, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Someone out there might have something that's looks better than what I have, but I
There's
also
enough for
need
everyone,
to,
right?
well, I also need to, and I've had this come up before of actually just, um, I did what's her name? Denise Duffield Thomas's personality profile, and
Mm,
I am, um, I was shocked at what I was. I was something like a not an actress, not a performer. Er, um, it's like I like to be in the limelight person.
Peacock.
And say that again.
Peacock.
Yeah, a peacock. Yeah, it is a peacock in other ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was quite shocked because I was like, oh, it doesn't feel like me. Like I'm not
Mm,
out
mm.
there and
Yeah.
in the social side of things. But I think since motherhood, I've really stepped into not being um that profile because I just felt like I couldn't be all that and be a mum.
Be a mum. Mm.
And so that got challenged probably a year and a half ago. And since then I've kind of been really aware. Like I just play a very smaller visual game than what I know I'm capable of. And
Mm.
having that experience last week, I was like, you know what, I've got a lot to say, and I've actually got a lot of,
Just say it.
knowledge in what I do. And then I jumped on a call with Laura, who, in her own right, like has a successful health practitioner
Yeah.
business and also has, just one second. No, you can, no, because I'm on a call and you can wait until lunchtime. Thanks. Um, and so, the joys of having
Jumped on a call
With
with Laura.
Laura, with Laura, who's got a
yeah, so
successful
got on a
business.
call with Laura and she just said what I needed to hear, and that was, wow. She goes, you know what you have to share is a rarity. Not a lot of people get leveraged income. They don't get
No, they don't.
like all of these elements. And I think, yeah, you know what? I have been blessed with the school of hard knocks that has taught me those lessons, and sharing that needs to be top of my focus. So watch this space.
Good job.
Yes.
Yeah, you.
Yes.
Good job.
Karen, did you have anything in particular that you wanted to throw
Well,
on the table?
I would love, and I did put it in my email a little bit. I would love to know what Joe and you do for your extensions. I couldn't think of the word this morning, but extensions. So,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Subdomain
of
and
domains. So, for
Yep.
example, you would have maybe navigatebiz.com.au / like
Yep.
what
got a
need do
heap.
you have for extensions? Yeah, I thought you might. And what purposes are they for? Because I just need to get my head a bit clearer. I'm having trouble getting my head clear because then you can't make them until you know what you want.
yeah. I'll answer it first and then I'll let Joe go. So there's two parts of domains. So if you have one domain, like let's use Navigate Biz because it's short and sweet. So if you have Navigate Biz and you have a website on that domain, so navigatebiz.com is the main website, you then can't use other funnels and other sections of what our Lotta provides without. So each page of the Navigate Biz website would be navigatebiz.com/connect, which would be the contact page,
or whatever.
contact or
Yeah.
home or services or whatever. So generally the name of the page on the website has that that's called a long tail of your domain. So it's whatever goes after the .com / they've got several names, but long tail is what it is. They're critical in SEO, and a lot of people don't realize this. That's why blogs work really well on websites, because generally the name of your article will become the long tail of your domain. So you'd have navigatebiz.com / how to do a business plan.
Yeah.
And so all those words that are at the end of that domain get searched as a domain because it is a domain name. So it gets preferential ranking as far as Google is concerned. The second option that you have is a subdomain, which is putting something before the navigatebiz.com. So for example,
we've done members.
Area,
yeah, members.
Members.navigatebiz.com.
Yeah.
And that would then go to the portal where your members log in. LC is a prefix that people use for having a specific domain that you send emails out on. So they do get you to set up an LC.
What's it stand for?
Lead connector.
Oh, okay.
So would it be lead connector .navigatebiz.com? Oh, sorry, lc.navigatebiz.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can have unlimited number of subdomains. You can have unlimited number of long tail domains. They just can't be the same because they are an address. So
yeah,
you can't have two things going to the one address.
Yeah.
You can have a forwarder though. So you could have 10 different domains and they all go to the one page.
Yeah.
That's another element. And then to tie that all up in a bow, you can have multiple domains. So you can have, like you have KarenThorley.com, you also have Plantiful Health. And so you can utilize Sleep Queen to go to a sales page for that particular product. And that just makes, for ease of remembering, for ease of people typing things in, to have a short domain that goes. So I have Online Wise, I have Our Lotta, both.com, I have Rochelle.com, and you just can put different things on different domains rather than using subdomains. So Mari is an example of that. She has, I don't know if I'll get the domain exactly right, but it's something like menopausehealthhub.com is her portal. So instead of having members at Mind Body Biz or whatever her domain is, she has that separate domain for her portal. If you point a domain to a place, you can't point it to two places. So you either have to point it to a sales page, or you have to point it to like one funnel or one website. Generally will sit under one domain.
Okay. It might land what you said, some of it a bit wishy.
Yeah. And I think it's one of the most confusing things. And I think to what other things people get confused with is like, why am I paying all these different parts? Is when you buy a domain name like navigatebiz.com, usually you purchase that from a domain host. That domain host, all they do is they sell you that domain name, which is usually $20, $30 a year. And you just go back to them and you pay them to host that domain. Now, crazy domains, GoDaddy, Cloudflare, they're all domain hosts that you can purchase domains through. There's hundreds of them. What people get confused with is that the domain name stays with the host. It doesn't come onto our Lotta, but it gets the DNS, which is the like routing of the domain, gets pointed to say, when you plug this into your browser, send it over here. And so we use Cloudflare as a secure stepping stone between whatever domain host you have. It goes to Cloudflare, then it goes into our Lotta. And that's just a second level of security. You don't have to have your domains with Crazy Domains or GoDaddy or whatever. You could buy them directly from Cloudflare. I don't think they are the most cheap. I don't think they're the best prices with Cloudflare from memory. And I think you can only buy .coms from Cloudflare. You can't buy .com.au. So it is important for Australian business owners, if you have the .com.au, that you go with a domain host that enables you to buy .coms, .com.aus and everything. So you can just keep all your domains nice and tidy in one little house. And then when the renewals come up, it's just with one place. Like online, like if you're setting up a server, as an example, a server is like a block of land that you build a house on. Generally, if you have a website, your website will be hosted in a server. And I think, Karen, yours was on a server elsewhere, and we migrated it into our Lotta. So our Lotta has servers that host WordPress websites, and it also has the inbuilt website builder that does your funnels, your websites, your webinars, all built within High Level as well. So in that case, you don't have to have an additional server. But sometimes when you sign up to a server, they'll say, oh, we'll give you a free domain.
Yeah.
So then you've got domains starting to get all over the place. And it can be confusing because some server providers will also be domain hosts. And then it's just like so hard for people to get their head around where everything lives. So I always say, have a master doc and just come to that master doc and really kind of write down all of the where your domains are hosted, where your websites are, like where are they sitting, what are the logins, keep everything all on the one page so that you can get clear on that. It's not that you need to know how to build stuff in it or anything, but it is important that when something comes up for renewal, you're checking your records of spam, of, fraud and stuff like that. They'll,
Yeah.
the amount of people that have registered their business or registered a domain name thinking that, it's legitimate because it had their name on it and had their domain on it, and they've parted with their money and it's got nothing to do with anything. I'm like,
I've had them a lot.
yeah. And you do, like if
Yeah.
you have a website, generally you will have had it.
Mm.
So they're getting crafty with how good their email, letters and setups look now.
They look totally like they're law almost, like you must pay this new registration of your business name to go forward.
Oh, well, then
reminder, it's due.
MyGov had a massive fraud this last month. I've been getting emails from MyGov saying you must come here and log in and check your MyGov stuff. And it's not even a MyGov email. It's not a MyGov email. It's also not a MyGov login that it sends you to. So it's getting so many people, like, and the MyGov's basically saying we never email you and we never send, like, do not click on anything. But who knows to check that? Like, if you're not that way,
People don't know what they don't know. Well,
No.
they're trusting.
Do you want to share your setup, Joanne?
Yeah, sure. So the only subdomain I've really got is members.navigatebiz.com, and that's for my membership that I'm creating. But I do have a bucket load of funnels and landing pages outside of my website. So what I like about landing pages is, so for example, Her Transformation, it's the normal navigatebiz.com/her transformation, but it's a landing page. And the difference is it doesn't have menus up the top, so they can't go and get distracted and go somewhere else.
It can, though.
They can.
Just to be a devil's advocate.
Yes. So it's not as easy or as obvious, right? So they can. So I have a bucket load of those for funnels. I've got them for, like you've got for connection calls and things like that. So they're in a funnel, but they still look like Navigate Biz / what's one? Joe, her tea book, something. So it's to book me to have a conversation about her transformation. So I like landing pages. I like funnels. They're simple. They send people directly to where they need to be. I rarely send somebody to my website. It's really just there as a brochure, online brochure thing.
Your challenge, Karen, in that scenario is your website is hosted with, like, it's a WordPress website, and it has the Plentiful Health pointed to it. So we can't use any long tail domains unless they are pages of that website. It just doesn't let you do two things.
Okay.
In your case, if your site was built in High Level or in our Lotta,
where mine is,
then you can have all the pages of your website. You can also have your funnels. You can have webinars all under that one domain. So that's why we use the Karen Thorley as a domain for any of your funnels, because we can't use the Plentiful Health
option.
Can we use it as a .com without the AU?
Yes. Yeah, because unless you've got that pointed to your website.
Oh, I don't know. And they were my questions, because I feel like all my marketing, all my logos, everything is Plentiful Health. And even though I've sent people recently to karenthorley.com, somehow or other they've booked through Plentiful Health, and they're different scheduling calendars. One's Acuity, one's a Lotta. People have booked appointments while I've been away through Plentiful Health, and I'm like, I think it's just known. And because I'm now the only naturopath in the Hunter Valley, and I'm not even in the Hunter Valley, but Google still thinks I am, even though it also knows I'm on the Sunshine Coast, I get a lot of people ring and they want to make an appointment with me down in the Hunter Valley through Plentiful Health. So I feel like I'm finally gaining traction with Plentiful Health, that being karenthorley.com and plentifulhealth.com seem to be, and they're confusing my head. So,
well, I think too, like anything, I mean, we can build out the pages in the WordPress site. You can embed booking links, like you can do everything
in that. I want to use the Lotta software because I'm learning that. The WordPress site I find too hard.
So you could still embed a calendar from our Lotta into that WordPress website. Okay. It's just a different way that you have to do it. You have to build.
Can I point my website to a different domain? Can that be changed?
Yes. Yes.
So maybe my website becomes Karen Thorley, or just take out the AU or whatever. And then in our Lotta, everything can start to be streamlined to the same thing, so that when Plentiful Health is a pain in the ass, to be honest, because no one can spell it and it auto corrects. And um, but it's where I'm seemingly getting traction. So I'm like, and everything's, I can't think of the word, but all my logos and everything is done. I've got so much stuff in my Google Drive that's all got Plan for Health marketing stuff.
Yeah, I would say, look, if you if you wanted to use just the .com, and the .com.au was where the website was hosted. The other alternative is you could rebuild out your website over into our Lotta, and then you can
And the other one off.
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you're paying double hosting fees and stuff.
Yeah,
though.
you'll also
I am
save
at the moment.
$15 a month hosting, which might be
Well, that was my goal, was to drop the website eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know how to build it across into, I mean, I know how to build it across into a lot of, but I don't know how much of it to bring across, or how much you would need, or whether it's I don't know. I'm just looking for, because I've always had a VA kind of do these things for me. She set up all my Google, she set up all the stuff. Someone else did my website, like you said, and did all the hosting. Still trying to bring all my domains to the one place.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll have that done today. I mean, I suppose the question around a website, and this is a great topic of conversation for anybody, is the purpose of your website is liken it to a clinic or a shop front or a party.
Joe
house.
called it something.
Party at.
Joe, what did you call
It's
it
an
earlier?
online
It was
brochure.
great.
Yeah,
Brochure.
the
I
online
liked
brochure.
that.
Yeah. It is. It's. I think that the best thing about having a website is, yes, it's an online brochure, but it's interactive and it's trackable, and it becomes really powerful if you set it up properly, because you can have chat widgets in it, you can have people click on buttons and it, do things like make bookings, or have people, as a contact record that you can follow up, or they can download something and then go on a customer journey to do something. They can, join a group, that sort of thing. Like, it starts to be more engaging than just a brochure. And if I go back to brochure days, like even QR codes and things like that, they're becoming like, I want to just get in and get that thing quickly. Like when you go to a restaurant, you can get the QR code and order from the table. Like, they're just using websites to be really efficient tools. So the question that you need to ask, and if you map it out on a piece of paper, it's like, well, what do I want my website to be helping people to do? Is it identifying what their problem is, showing that you have a solution, and then showing them how to take the first step in that solution, to take the first step to discovery call, to take the first step in joining a Facebook group, joining a group, joining something to get that piece of information, to then sign up, do the thing, buy the thing, go to the next step. And that really, if you can make that really streamlined and make that really self-serving, you can be super efficient, because, it might be 1 o'clock in the morning for you, but perfect time for somebody in the United States, or if you're not global, just when the kids are in bed, you're not working, but somebody can go and find what they need and do.
And the landing pages in our Lotta can do a lot of that.
Well, yeah, so landing pages, website pages, same. Exactly the same. The only difference between a website page and a landing page is a landing page or a funnel is step 1, step 2, step 3. So you might go, step 1 is for them to opt into something. Step 2 is they get the thing and they get invited to book a call or do something else. And then step 3 might be, thanks for doing all of those things. Now this is the next step.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes them on a couple of journeys. It might be, here's the thing I'm going to sell you. And when they click on it, it takes the transaction, and then it thanks them and gives them steps. So they are still website pages. They're just website pages that are ordered in a certain way. Yeah. You can do that exact same thing on a website. Like, you can have website pages that link from one to the next. like Joanne said, generally you don't have menus or things that discourage. But on your website, you can also link to your funnels if you have them set up in a certain sequence.
Yeah.
Then, like on my Our Lotta website, when you click on the buy, it actually goes to a funnel. And in that funnel is where they go through the sales process. Nobody would know. It looks identical. Like,
Seamless.
Yeah.
and you want to brand it so that it's that seamless
Branding.
transition.
Yeah. And is there what's the difference really between a .com.au and a .com.au and just a .com? Like, is there any headspace difference on that for people? Or
Yeah, also .com is shorter. That's
I know.
the number one. Like, if you can get the
Global, I guess.
.com of your domain, great, get it, because one, it's
Well, I
short
have got it.
and it's global, right? It's the United States kind of version, and the .com.au is just an Australian version of a .com. So I always say to somebody, if you're looking for a business name and you're going through that path, see if you can get both. That would be ideal. Use your .com because it's the shortest one, and just have the .com.au as a backup in case Aussies are used to typing .com.au and they can find you anyway.
So the best thing for me then is I could point my current website to .com into Our Lotta, slowly build out the different funnels that replicate really what's on my website, but a bit more streamlined in Our Lotta. And then eventually I could just drop the website and that $15 a month that is.
Yeah, and you would just then point the .com.au over to whatever you built.
Yeah.
So you don't lose the traffic of, if somebody does put in the .au, then they can still find you. And you get, when a website has been alive and has a heartbeat on the internet for a long period of time, it starts to get cached into Google search engines. So you don't ever want to lose that. And it might be that you have put your domain name or something somewhere along the lines. So you never want to just close any domain names that you've got traction on down. Because all of those pages, all of the
history,
long tails are out there in the internet, and they're working for you, whether you.
And when you look me up, often you will get Planner for Health. Karen is Planner for Health, which, if I look Joanne up, I'm probably going to get Navigate Beers or Row, Our Lotta or whatever. But that's why people end up over there, I think. They gain 100%. They find out about me somewhere else, and then they end up over on my website.
It's so low of these days. It's so low of a percentage of people that actually type your domain name into the browser. Like I even just go, can you look up this website on Siri, and Siri will Google search it or ChatGPT it. Like, it's not, typing it into your browser is hardly done.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably
that's helpful.
People like me, like coders, that old school, that use that all the time. Like I don't go to Google, I'll type it straight in, because when I'm testing pages, that's really important that I go to the page that I need to look at. Whereas if I'm just trying to find something, Google is the best way to get it.
Yeah. And AI is so brilliant now. You get this little summary at the top that you never used to get.
Yes.
Of stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is good. They've actually gone and done the research for me.
It's really good to actually do the research on yourself and see what customers are getting when they search all of the things that they can potentially search around you. A lot of people forget, and they're like, oh, I didn't update my Google business listing. I didn't even remember I had that. And so it sits there for years with an old website, old information, and that is gold, like gold real estate.
My cookies.
You might have a really old kind of description on it, or a really old photo, or not your latest brand if you've updated. Just not the latest version of you. So it's great to do a business search or a name search on Google and just see what's really coming up, and seeing if there's anything out there that you need to update.
I find my cookies, I must have to clear my cache first, because I find I just go to all the same things, and it must be just the cookies.
I
So for
find,
me to search isn't
Do
working.
an incognito browser.
yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
find Google Business keeps wanting me to do the video because I work from home. We're the same for you. I've got to go and do a video, walk down the street and take a photo, video the freaking street sign, and video myself coming into my office and filming my office for them to go, oh yeah, you do exist. You're okay. I've done that so many
Ah,
freaking times. It's really,
ah,
and it
that's
just won't. It's
annoying.
not verifying. It's very annoying.
Well, they used to send out a postcard to your
Yes, well, they don't do
address.
that. Yeah, no, they did. They did.
I can't
Yeah.
verify on LinkedIn because no, what is it? Something about my name is
Oh
wrong
yes,
and I
it's
can't verify it
spelled
now. So
differently. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm never going to get that verification
Okay.
that I
Yes.
am
Who you
legit.
say you
I
are.
am legit. I've tried a few times and it's like, oh,
No,
forget it.
it's different. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, good call,
No,
lady.
that was, thank you. That was really helpful, both of you.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
good. Thank you. It's good to just
Yeah.
catch up. Thank you.
It's always
Nice
nice
little
to
quiet
see
one.
your little face. Yeah, no, it is. School holidays is definitely the reason, I can tell you now. Like, I actually didn't send my reminder message out this morning either.
I saw that.
I
went,
know, I know.
That's right.
I
Yeah,
was,
sorry, Rochelle doesn't even have that on automation. Rochelle's doing that manually, and she forgot.
I do need more automation. I got when I was actually in ASRock, I got a text message from I just had like a free 15-minute call with someone on the day I went away, like 3 weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, on the day I went away, and she's like hammered me, I'm not going to work with you. You're obviously way too busy. You don't follow up, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't have any automations yet, because I haven't figured out whether to automate as an email, like, just a follow-up. I'm not sure if a text message is enough, if a phone call is too much. Yeah, so I haven't got them. And she hammered me. Anyway, that's fine because I tried to call her and she was a bit of a bitch about it. And I thought, oh, I don't want you. That's
Fair
good.
enough.
Yeah, love, and
Universe
let
is looking
go.
after you.
Dodge the bullet.
Yeah. I think I did. But then the same afternoon, I got a message from another person who I've only had one consult with just before I went away, saying, been meaning to say thank you so much. Got so much amazing stuff. Can't wait till you come back and we follow up.
Nice.
So it was nice. I was feeling very flat and shitty about it. And then it's like, oh, no, dodged a bullet. Thanks, universe. But I need the automations.
I honestly think in business, it is what we choose to focus on will determine the rest of our week. And, Scott said to me, he's like, oh, you bounce back from that so quickly. I was like, yeah, because I know how important my energy is. Like, if I show up with shitty energy, I'm not
going to get shitty
doesn't matter
stuff.
what I do. I'm
Exactly.
like pushing shit uphill. I have to clean that stuff up. He's like, wow.
Yeah.
He goes, I was impressed. You just like spun on a top. And I was like, yeah, because I don't do down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I do down in the dumps. Like
Yeah, we all do.
I have moments where I'm like, it's all too hard.
And sometimes that down in the dumps has got to go.
Yeah, just to get it out.
Get it out. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you do. And I think, the smallest, funniest little thing can spin you. Like, yeah, if I look back and think what it was that actually triggered it, it was old trauma that I heard something, and that all of a sudden I just went, woo, like I felt it. Like I was like, oh man, like
hard.
Yeah. But I've come back stronger than ever. And I think, sometimes you just need to have that.
Cool. So before you go, Ro, two things. Two people. Cam Rob will probably sign up with you. So he's my client that I'm helping put an RTO together. And then I was speaking to a lady out of Canada this morning. She was quoted $3,300 a month for Go High Level. I went, yeah, no, I have someone way better who can look after you.
Wow.
So I've sent her your link to your pricing page. Her name is Kathy Dirksen. Hopefully she might do.
All right. Well, can you just message me both those names? If you have an email address, great. If not, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll just make sure that they're
So one of the things, just for context for you, so I belong to a network out of the US called Leadership Global, and they're connected to C-Suite. C-Suite give every one of their members Go High Level for $1 a month.
Wow.
$1.
Forever.
Yeah. And people say to me, so are you doing that? I went, no, not interested in that, because they get no support, no nothing. And so they're sitting there. So Kathy was saying, I've got Go High Level. I don't know how to use it. I went, yeah, you're doing the dollar thing, aren't you? She said, yep. I went, right. So you need to speak to a lady who's actually going to look after you. And here's her link. So there are thousands of people who are thinking it's a great deal for $1
Orphaned.
and haven't got a freaking clue what they're doing.
Well, it's actually against it's against high level policy to do that, because there's
Yeah,
a
I don't know
couple of
what they do.
companies that sold it for like $9 a month, and then they went bankrupt and they fell. And I mean, it's fine, I suppose, for high level because it all rolls up to them.
Yeah.
But from a customer experience, like I
Yeah.
mean, majority of my experience was with another agency, and I brought probably 40 people on with that agency. And that's when I realized the point of difference was me. It wasn't
Absolutely.
wasn't these gorgeous 20-year-old girls.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I'm sure they're amazing, but I'm like, but and I think it's reminding ourselves that that is the point of difference we
They
have
want
in
the
our.
human connection and the support, and
Oh,
know that
just
they're reaching
to have somebody on the end of a phone call. Like that was my thing, even when I was starting. I was like, I had nobody to teach me anything. And that was just frustrating.
That was my first
I was ready to
instance.
get going.
Yeah.
Even as an agency, Joanne, like, oh my God, I would love to get to a place where I can support other people to set up their own high level agency, because there is zero support.
Support. Yeah, you just buy it and off
That's
you
why I did it for Mia. Like I was like, there is
Yeah.
zero support for this. I'll be your wing woman. I will stand by you. I will
Yeah.
help you
Yeah.
set this business up, because it's not as hard as it feels or it looks.
Yes.
And that was a big stepping stone for me. Like, and I'm tech savvy, like,
Yeah.
but it was not hard to set up an agency. And to me, I was like, oh, okay, well,
Opportunity there.
yeah, like if that's if that fits in your business model and it's
Yeah.
something that you
Yeah.
can provide, then yeah. So that would be my long-term goal, is that I have probably a handful of people that I support to set up an agency, because I think it's a great business model, especially when you're kind of teaching systems and the
Yeah.
ins and outs of it all. So
Anyway, I'll send you a message with those two people, so hopefully they do something about it.
thank you, darling.